Yo, what's happening, people? It's your boy, Jay Flex, the wrestler here. Coming at you with another video. In this video, it's titled, Why Do Black Men Date Non-Black Women? I feel like subtitle should be, Why Do, black women date non-black men? Because that happens as well, too. And personally, let me start off by saying this. I'm one of these type of people who I really, I'm not one of those people who feel a negative type of way towards people who date interracially, because at the end of the day, if you are happy with the person who you're with, that's really all that matters. It's not up to what I think or me judging it, or it doesn't need my approval because I ain't in your relationship. I can't make you happy. You better be with somebody who's gonna make you happy in the long haul. That's all that matters, because when you're talking about relationships and marriage and commitment, you need to be sure that you're with somebody who makes you happy, regardless of skin color. That if this person is white and you're black, or they're Asian and you're black or white or blue or whatever, and they make you happy, you better be for damn sure that you stay with them, because relationships and commitment are all about love at the end of the day. So enough about that, because that's on a whole nother topic. But it is kind of tied into it. But anyways, why do black men, though? Why do they date non-black women? And I was having a conversation, and somebody was asking me about this. And we were, I was having a conversation with one of my homeboys, and he was like, why would black men want to date a non-black woman? Saying like a black woman is the epitome of what they need and what they desire. I feel like, they're queens, they're goddesses, they're very strong, loyal, independent. They have so many great qualities that can complement a black man. And that is very true. And so I said, yeah, you're right, they do. However, it's not so much about black women really. Sometimes it's about them. It's about the black man wanting to go somewhere where he is desired. Okay. Understand this. A man should want to date a woman who desires him in some degree. We of course, the woman, not even just black woman, the woman in general is going to be looked at as the prize in the relationship. Sometimes that's not the case, though, what I'm saying, and that's fine. But most of the time, the woman wants to be the prize. They want to be the one who is deemed as desirable, okay, and wanted and needed. The man, however, they don't have to be that way, but in some cases, it's okay if they are deemed as desirable in a relationship. They don't have to be more desirable than a woman, no. But they still do want to be looked at and respected, because it's about respect at the end of the day. And a lot of black men, and I've done research on this for years, really, even before I started looking at a lot of YouTube videos and stuff like that, and looking at the community, black communities in general in YouTube spaces, whether it be black men who make platforms and videos talking about dating and the complications in dating, the community, or black women who talk about the same thing and their complications and what they go through in the black community in the dating spectrum. Okay. I have noticed that black men who date out of their race, at times, and most of the time, they date outside of their race because they want to go where they are deemed as select. That word is key, select. Okay. It's a term called select, and it's a term called non-select. Shout out to Ron Wills. Ron Wills talks a lot about this in his books. He talks a lot about this in his YouTube pages. And he has these discussions as well. When a man is non-select, that means that majority of women will not want to choose him. They don't deem him as select. They may not deem him as attractive, charismatic, may not have enough swag, may not have that personality that they deem as attractive. That's going to make them magnetic magnetic to that man. And when we're talking about non-select and select in the black community, when a black man is non-select, he is going to go to another community where he is deemed as select. Now, a lot of women or a lot of black men too will be like, well, that's ridiculous because, it ain't about that. It shouldn't be about that. And that's attention seeking and all of this stuff. But the truth of the matter is both people need to be deemed as desirable in a relationship. Both of them have to be attracted to one another. And I don't just mean by looks. I mean just substance alone. Okay. And when we're talking about the black man and why they date outside of their race, a lot of times they go outside of their race because they are not deemed as select or as cool or as desirable, as sexy, as, like I said, charismatic, funny. These men were probably the intellects in school, in middle school, in high school, because a lot of times men find out if they're select or non-select in middle school and high school. Straight up. They find this out early. In high school or middle school, they want to go to junior prom. Girls weren't at their locker asking them to, or lined up at their locker trying to go to prom with them. Or they were late bloomers. They weren't really getting sex like that in middle school or high school. I'm just laid on the line like this because this is what's going on in the community. Those non-select dudes were not getting play in middle school, in high school, and then when they got to college, it got worse. It got worse because, especially if they went to a bigger school, because they probably was still trying to get with the black woman, because 9 times out of 10, that black men are attracted to black women only. They're gonna pick black women first. But if they are not being chosen back, or they're being rejected or stood up or whatever, they're gonna go to another race. And I told my friend this. I was like, yo, that's 9 times out of 10. That's why a black man is gonna go to a non-black woman or date a non-black woman. The qualifications or the criteria for a black woman, he may not have lived up to that in most cases. Let's say he dated 10 black women, or he tried to date 10 black women, and maybe he only got 2 out of 10 of those. And even those 2 didn't work out, the relationship didn't work out. But the other 8, they just totally just like disregarded him. They just totally was like, no, not interested. No, thank you. Cheated on him, stood him up, went for the bad boy, as a lot of people like to call it, or what we like to call the Pookie and the Ray Ray. That's the term we use a lot in YouTube space. Pookie and Ray. And black men or men think that that's what women want, but it's not really about being a thug or Pookie and Ray Ray. It's not about that. It's about it's an edginess, a swag to them, a charisma to them, an aura that is attractive to that woman, and in particular that black woman. And a lot of times there are black men who don't have that, and they know it. So they rather go to another race. And that's why a lot of black men do it. They will go date another race because they might find similar interests with that other race of woman. They may like the same thing, so they may like the same things that other race of woman, not just white woman, Latina woman, Asian woman, Middle Eastern woman. What was deemed as uncool in the black community that he went through in middle school and high school. And sometimes when they get to college, they'll end up dating a white woman because they don't have success in college with a black woman. So what's cool in college that they find out when they get to college was cool to the white woman wasn't cool with the black woman. So they're like, you know what? I'm just going to stick with this straight up because I'm having success right here. I'm having success right here. And I'm just going to be honest. Okay. In middle school and high school, I never dealt with having issues with getting black women, black girls. Do I feel like I was select in middle school, high school? I don't really know. I wasn't really thinking about that back then. I was a little bit of a late bloomer, I guess, really, when it comes to that kind of stuff. But if I have to think back, maybe I might have been a little in between, but I never really had problems with getting black girls in high school, college, or anything like that. And like I said, I only dated seriously one white girl out of my whole life. And I'm 27. Okay, so I mean, I ain't that old really at all, but you know, I'm just saying I've only dated one white girl. Like seriously, been in a relationship exclusively with one white girl. So I'm not one of these guys who I'm advocating for it because I went through it. I did not, you know, I don't know what it's like to be rejected by black women or, you know, and have to go to another race. I have no idea what that's like. So I'm talking about it from a standpoint of understanding. I'm having an understanding for men who do that. And instead of bashing men who do that, because like I said, the first disclaimer I said was, at the end of the day, you have to be happy with whatever relationship you're in. And so I told him that, I told my homeboy, back to the conversation we had, I said, look, you know, that's why a lot of times black men date outside of their race, because a lot of times they have had struggles with dating a black woman. They may not have been able to get a black woman. They may have experienced a lot of failures with it. And yeah, you can say as a black woman or a black man even say, well, he just need to toughen up. He just need to, you know what I'm saying? He need to toughen up and stay in the community and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, you can tell him that. And maybe he should, but that ain't really your place to tell him that. Straight up. Like, I could say that because I never went through what he went through, or what I know people who have been through. And I know a couple people who I went to school with, high school and college with, who struggle with dating black women. And I mean, some of them still trying to date them, and they did end up dating them, and it worked that they found somebody who works for them. But some of them, they went to another community because of that. Like, I've had discussions with dudes, and they was like straight up, like, I know I might sound like a punk or whatever, but at the end of the day, like, I had to go where, you know, I felt wanted, because a man is still going to want to feel wanted to a degree. You know what I'm saying? So, and why would you be in a relationship where you don't feel like you're desired to some degree or wanted to some degree? You know what I'm saying? And that is why a lot of men do it, because they are deemed as non-select in their community. So they're going to go to another community that's going to show them more love. And really, I have nothing bad to say about it. The only thing I have against people who do that, and I will say this, is when you bash, listen to what I'm saying closely. If you are a black man and you dating a black woman, a white woman, you went to the other race, you were successful in that, with white women or with Asian women or with Latino women, and you put them on a pedestal to the point where you starting to bash black women, and you showing off and you doing this and you doing that and you're bashing black women after you found happiness with what you're doing. You have no reason to go back and bash the black community. There's no reason why you should do that. And there are a lot of black men do that, especially on YouTube and everything, in the world in general. And there's no reason for you to do all of that, because that ain't necessary. You know what I'm saying? Be and live in your peace. Be happy with what you're doing, the relationship that you're in. You know what I'm saying? Because that's, at the end of the day, it ain't up to me. It ain't up to them to make you happy. You make yourself happy with your girlfriend, your wife, whatever. That's the only issue I have with men who decide, or even women, black women who do the same thing and they date white dudes. They do the same thing. They bash black men, you know what I'm saying? And when they found happiness with a white man. But I'm not really talking about them. I'm talking about black men. So that's why a lot of black men, and this is like probably one of the last things I'm going to say, this is why black men date outside of their race. Because they want to go where they are deemed as attractive, select, desired, admired, respected, as any man should. At the end of the day, any man should want that for himself, especially when you're talking about a relationship. There should be the relationship should be to where both of y'all respect each other and y'all desire each other. It shouldn't be to where you desire her more than she desires you, and then vice versa. She desires you more than you desire her. That's not how a relationship goes. You might as well stay single. And that's why a lot of people rather stay single, to be honest. But if you want to be in a relationship, and that's fine too, that's what you should look for. You should look for that respect and being desired and admired. And the truth of the matter is, black men, there are a lot of great black men out here. And I may do another video on this, but there are a lot of great black men out here who want black women, who don't want to date. White woman is not really their first choice. It may look like that, but it's not their first choice. They may even say it is, but it's really not. It's really not. They rather date a black woman, but they're going to the white woman because that white woman respects them. It's not about them walking all over them and them, and that white woman being easy for them. No, that white woman or that Latina woman, they may feel like that white woman and that Latina woman or that Asian woman respects them more. They may feel like they respect them more. They admire them more. The relationship is just more fluent. It's more smooth. They have similar common interests. And it's real genuine love that they feel that they've never felt before. I'm gonna leave you with this last example. It was an interview that Dennis Rodman did. Okay, Dennis Rodman did this, and he said this rather, and he said, he had a rough upbringing in childhood. His mother, who was black, didn't love him. You know what I'm saying? So he never really experienced love from the black community from a black woman. And so even when he was in high school, he was short. He said he was ugly. He was skinny. And then he finally hit his growth spurt and he got recruited. He went to college. He said, but in high school, he won't get play at all. He didn't start getting play from black women until he got to the league. He said, but the white women or the white community in general, not just white women, but the white people, white community, they respected him. He saw respect more than he ever saw before in his life. And they weren't even from people who looked like him. And he said that was why he dated and he married a white woman. Now, I don't know if he's still married to her, and none of that matters. It's just that that's what he said. And I listened, I was like, dang, that's interesting that he said that. And I guess in a sense, it does make sense. And it comes all back together now as to why I see black men dating non-black women. Again, I'm not a guy who only dates Caucasian, Asian, or Latino women, because I'm not a guy who had trouble with getting black women. However, I do understand. I get it. So think about that. Ponder that topic that we discussed today. Ponder it. Think about it. I may post another video about this. I may have a part 2. And it may be in reference to why black women date non-black men. Because at the end of the day, people, I think as a black community, this actually will bring us together because we may understand each other better. Who knows? So think about it. Really ponder it. A lot of people might be upset with it. Some people may be happy with it. Who knows? Anyways, again, think about it. So, it's your boy Jay Flex, the wrestler. Click the link, subscribe, like it, comment, share it. Leave your opinions. I definitely want to read some opinions on it. Share this video and subscribe, yo. Y'all be blessed. Jay Flex, I'm out. Peace.